Hey sis, why did you run away as soon as you saw my face? It's been 3 years since we last met, you know. Of course I'll run away. I never wanted to see your face again. I can't believe our reunion after all these years is in a hospital. By the way, sis, your belly is something else. What did you eat to make your belly look that ugly? I didn't even recognize you at first with that unexpected chubbiness. Huh? I can't believe you'd walk around with such an ugly, chubby belly. You're like a different person from 3 years ago. Even thinking back, I can't help but laugh at that flabby belly. Are you kidding me? To think you'd see my belly and find it funny. Oh, could it be stress eating? 3 years ago, you lost Tom. And you binged and ate recklessly because of the shock of being dumped. Oh, my sweet sister, your mental state seems really fragile. Huh? That's why you're in the hospital, huh? It's a general hospital, so it has all kinds of departments. You're receiving mental therapy, right? You're mistaken. Don't make up story on your own. There's no point in lying. It's obvious when I see that ugly belly of yours. Such a belly can only be from stress eating. Being dumped and falling ill, that must be tough. It's quite different from my happy marriage life and my good health. Oh, so you're still with Tom? Then why were you in the hospital? If you're so healthy, you shouldn't be anywhere near a hospital. Don't you get it? Where do healthy young women like I would go? It's obviously the obstetrics and gynecology department. Huh? Do you mean you're pregnant? You might end up stress eating again, even though you got dumped because of infertility. I see you and Tom are doing quite well then. You took my husband, got married, and even managed to get pregnant. It's complicated, but for now, congratulations. Tom always wanted children, so he must be thrilled. Of course! So sis, keep up with your mental therapy. A woman who's overweight, infertile, and seeing a psychiatrist won't even find a remarriage partner. That's none of your business. Then please never contact me again. I consider us estranged 3 years ago. In the future, don't even think about talking to me if you happen to see me by chance, okay? Sophia, good job on your hospital checkup today. Did you make it home safely? Maybe I should have driven you back. No, I'm sure a popular obstetrician like you doesn't have that kind of time. But thanks for your thorough examination, both as my husband and as a doctor. I made it home safely, so don't worry. I got scolded by the nurse afterwards though. They said I took too many ultrasound photos just because you're my wife. I surprised myself with how excited I was. Then let's take fewer photos at the next checkup. Oh, Max, can we use the back entrance for checkups next time? I remember you gave permission to some patients for that, right? I did give permission, but it's only for certain special patients. It's mainly for patients who have difficulty coming in for various reasons, or those trying to avoid mother-in-law problems during examinations. I've also found it a bit difficult to come for checkups. So, could you give me permission too? Huh? Is something wrong? Well, there's actually a patient I don't want to see. I ran into my sister at the hospital just a little while ago. Your sister? You mean the one who stole your ex-husband from you? Even though you've cut ties, you run into her at our hospital. It seems my sister is also here for pregnancy checkups, but unfortunately, she hasn't noticed that I'm pregnant yet. I don't really want to correct her, and I just don't want to see her again. So, could I use the back entrance too? If that's the case, I'll give you permission. But I'll have to share the reason with the hospital staff. The nurses will know about your encounter with your sister. Is that okay? Yes, that's perfectly fine. I'm sorry for telling you something that's hard to talk about at work, Max. Discussing your wife at the workplace. I'm fine with it, so don't worry. I'll go and share it with the hospital staff right away. Thank you. Please say hello to the nurses as well. Hey there, sister. Are you still indulging in your eating spree today? Have you gained even more weight? What do you want this time? I told you not to contact me again. It's okay to contact you sometimes, right? I want you to send me a photo of that ugly belly of yours. Huh? My belly? When I told Tom about you, he burst out laughing. He's been bugging me to show him your chubby self. So take a selfie of it right now and send it to me. You two are just the worst people I know. How can you do this to me? What? You know, being laughed at for being chubby is a classic. If it bothers you, try losing some weight. Although it might be impossible for you with your mental breakdown from that affair. What? It's been 3 years since that affair, you know. It's about time to move on with your life. You won't find anyone like that, you know. I don't need to hear that from you. Especially from the person who stole Tom from me. It's about time to move on with my life? You have no right to say something like that to me. Oh, wow. I was just being worried about you. Tom is sitting next to me and he's also very concerned about you. Shut up. I still hate you both. Blaming me every day for not being able to have children, and then having an affair with my own sister and kicking me out? I don't want your concern. Oh, really? Well, if you're going to say that, then never mind. I won't bother worrying about you anymore, so go ahead and get even fatter. With how chubby you are, people might mistake you for a pregnant woman, even though you're infertile. What? You're infertile, but you want to look pregnant, right? Is that why you're intentionally getting fat? Experiencing pregnancy vibes? Want to feel like you're pregnant even just emotionally? It's pathetic and hilarious. This is not funny at all. You've been saying whatever you want. I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. Please don't contact me again. Then send a selfie right now. Of that pathetic, ugly belly of yours. I promise I won't contact you again. What? Gosh, I can't help but laugh at you, sis. Stress-induced weight gain after infertility is just too funny. Even looking pregnant, that is only fat in there. There's a baby in this belly. Huh? Actually, I didn't want to tell you, but I can't stand it anymore. There's a precious baby in this belly. So don't ever call me belly ugly again. What are you saying? You can't possibly be pregnant, right? Are you that bad mentally? Huh? Or is it just some phantom pregnancy thing? Wow, the power of delusion is incredible. I'm sorry, but my mental state is perfectly fine. There really is a baby in this belly. Turns out, I might not have been infertile after all. I got pregnant as soon as I remarried my current husband a year ago. Huh? Remarried your current husband? What? You do know that getting pregnant isn't something you can do alone, right? Actually, I remarried a while ago. You've got to be kidding. You got remarried? And you're pregnant? Seriously? I was at the hospital for the same reason as you, Lara. I'm going to the hospital as a pregnant woman. No way! But you could never get a baby. And that's why Tom dumped you. You guys have been so long since you're married and have no children. There is no way you can be pregnant. I'm not sure why, honestly. I really don't know. What? Could you tell Tom, who's right next to you, that thank God I didn't get pregnant with him, who treated me as a useless person only because I couldn't get pregnant. I'm so happy that I have a baby with my current husband. No, there is no way this is true. You? Getting married and getting pregnant right away? Then why can't I get pregnant? What? I thought you were pregnant, Laura. Oh, shit. Did the hospital have separate location for obstetrics and gynecology? Pregnant women go to a different floor, right? But you weren't there on the same floor. We had our appointments on the same day and at the same time. No, that's not it. I was in the restroom the whole time. I didn't notice until it was time to leave. I think the location for infertility treatments were different too. What? For the sake of patient privacy, the infertility treatment rooms were in a different area. I think that was on the second floor. Laura, we met on the second floor when I was using the stairs. Oh, was that it? Could it be that you're just misunderstanding things? Or maybe you are lying about the pregnancy? Are you in treatment? Shut up. Don't make baseless assumption about me. Don't get carried away just because you got remarried and got pregnant. What? I'm not doing anything special anyways. I'm just going there as a precaution. Please don't treat me like I'm infertile. I'm not like you. Why are you suddenly getting so angry? Don't act all high and mighty just because you're pregnant. If I really put my mind to it, I could get pregnant easily. I'm younger than you, and I could definitely get pregnant with Tom. So don't think you're something special. So then why are you even going to the hospital? You're annoying. I can't stand it, so never contact me again. Hey, Sophia. Is Laura your sister? I just want to make certain before I share it with the hospital. Yeah, that's her. Her spouse is a guy named Tom. She's going to the hospital for fertility treatment, right? Yeah, and she's a pretty problematic patient. I didn't think that patient was your sister. What? Is Laura causing trouble at the hospital? Every time she comes in for a checkup, she's pissed off that it's the hospital's fault she can't get pregnant. She even rubbed me by the chest once. What? She's been going to the hospital for 2 years now, and I can understand her impatience. But her husband hasn't been very cooperative either. He keeps on saying things like, "There's no need for any medical treatment," or "My wife should be able to get pregnant naturally, so do something to make it so." I'm so sorry about my sister and her husband. That's not something you should be apologizing for, Sophia. Anyway, now that I've got the confirmation, I'll put you on the list. I'll give you a special pass for the back door later. Thanks, Max. Sis, please, I want you to give me the baby when it's born. I thought you said you'd never contact me again. And what in the world are you talking about? I have no other choice. I'm going to get kicked out of this house if I don't do something about it. What? That's why I want you to give me your baby. I'll pretend that I'm actually pregnant and the doctors didn't even know it. I'll persuade Tom with that, so please give your baby to me. This is so crazy. I don't understand what you're talking about. You have to explain to me what's going on. I'm telling you, I have no other choice. Actually, it's all a lie that I'm pregnant. In fact, I can't get pregnant at all and Tom and my mother-in-law are blaming me. If I don't get pregnant by the end of this year, I'm getting a divorce. That's what he told me just now. Oh my god, you're repeating my mistake. And you know what? He said he won't pay me alimony if we get divorced. He's going to leave me penniless. What? Sis, you got a lot of money from Tom when you got divorced, didn't you? That's why he won't give it to me because his savings have gone down quite a bit. He said it's my fault since I couldn't get pregnant. Come to think of it, Tom was very generous at the time of the divorce. He said he'd give me as much as he could if he could get a divorce quickly. He was so excited because he could marry you. He gave me a total of $100,000 for the property and fee for the affair. I thought I would be happy if I married Tom. He works for a big company and has money. I thought that as long as I had a baby, I could be a housewife. It's terrible that it turned out like this. You were so confident about this. You even said, "Don't worry, I'll have his baby instead of you, sis." I'm trying so hard too. So why should I be the one to be blamed? And if we're getting divorced, I want him to pay me alimony too. Why should I be the only one who has to leave the house penniless? My parents insulated me because of you. Don't blame it on me. I think it's normal since you stole my husband. I think Mom and Dad made the right decision. Please, sis, help me. I have nowhere to go. I can't get a divorce. If I don't get a child somehow, my life will be over. That doesn't mean you should go after my child. I won't give up the baby I'm carrying. Don't be so cold. If you can get pregnant once, you can get pregnant again soon. So there should be no problem if you give me at least one child. Don't be silly. Don't treat my precious child like an object. This is the child I've always wanted. Even though Tom blames me, even though you make fun of me, I have lived my whole life without losing hope. I remarried my current husband and our baby became my treasure. I would never give up such a child to you people. But then I'll be divorced, and what if I had to go through all that? I might even end up homeless, you know? Whether you end up penniless or homeless, I don't care. I'd rather you fall to the ground. What? You should be sorry for all the horrible things you've said and done to me. You're pathetic and miserable. Well then, I'm done. I'm blocking you now, so no matter how many times you contact me, I wouldn't know. Don't ever appear in front of me again. After that, my husband told me Lara and her husband came to see him as a couple for the first time in a long time. However, Tom said, "I didn't hear that you're examining me too. Are you trying to say that I'm the cause of the problem?" And Tom even tried to hit Laura and the doctor, and were taken out of the hospital by the guards. In the end, they managed to get the test done. To his surprise, it was discovered that the cause of infertility was Tom. Then he stormed into the hospital saying, "I can't accept these results," and started a big riot in the hospital. Finally, the two were banned from the hospital. I am wondering what will happen to them in the future, but it is none of my business. At any rate, I am glad that I will be able to go to the hospital in peace from now on.
Where are you now? Have you finished work? What's up, Hannah? I'm surprised to hear from you all of a sudden. Actually, about 6 months ago, I left my hometown and moved here, to the city. Oh, really? In high school, you said you never leave your hometown. Didn't you make fun of me when I went out of town for college? That was a long time ago. I realized there's a limit to the level of guys you can date in your hometown. They weren't good enough for me. I thought that the right man for me would be in a sophisticated city like here. That's why I moved out. Oh, I see. I had no idea. Is that why you contacted me? Because you're in the city? You're the only one who lives around here. All others are back in our hometown or moved somewhere else. Plus, many of them are married and have families of their own. Indeed, last year I was invited to so many weddings. But you're still single, right? Oh, about that? I'm actually engaged. Oh, really? You're engaged? A career woman like you? I got engaged to someone I met by chance. I'm having a wedding this month. It's going to be a small wedding abroad with mostly family and a few friends. I was planning to announce it after the wedding, so I haven't told my classmates about it yet. Oh, wow, what a surprise! Is what you expected to hear from me, right? What? Actually, I know all about your engagement. Your fiancé is a 30-year-old department head at a major company. He's a super talented employee who earns $150,000 a year, right? He goes to the gym 5 times a week after work. He lives in a nice townhouse. He's extremely successful. Wait a minute, how do you know all that? We only talked at the high school reunions, right? Don't underestimate my information network. All the weddings going on around me made me poor by paying travel expenses and all. I'm in a rush to get married, and I've started hunting for men. I've been thinking about how to get a man who suits me. You've thought about how to get a man? It's hard to find a man with the right qualities from scratch. But it's easy to seduce a guy who you already know about or who's connected to my friends. So, I checked on the woman who I thought a good man would be attracted to. Like high school beauty pageant regulars, girls who went to prestigious universities, a classmate who became a local broadcaster, and a career woman who works in the city. Is that career woman me? That's right. I knew I'd find good men around those women. Bingo! Your boyfriend works for a major company, and his father is a CEO of that company. He fits my criteria perfectly. When did you snooped around on your own? You don't have to put it that way. I just did a little research. So? You contacted me because you wanted me to introduce you to him? I'm sorry, but I can't do that. I don't need you to introduce him to me. I've already made contact with him. As a matter of fact, we're already dating. What? Dating? What are you talking about? That means you're going to be dumped. So tell me where you are now. I'm going out to eat dinner with him, but I want to make sure we don't meet. You know, if we run into each other in his fancy house, you might get jealous and go on a rampage, so I want to prevent that from happening. Wait a minute. Are you serious? Are you guys really dating? Our wedding is this month. He hasn't told me anything about you either. I will be stealing both your fiancé and wedding, so I thought I'd at least give you a surprise gift. Surprises are supposed to be prepared in secret. I'm sorry we haven't told you about it yet. Surprise? You call this affair a surprise present? You'll find out when you come back. We have a special surprise present for you, Kendall. I don't know if I can talk calmly, but I'm driving home right now. So let's talk about it when I get home. I want you both to tell me what's going on in person. Joe, what's going on? Where is all my stuff? I tried to call Hannah, but she won't answer me. Don't tell me that this is your surprise present.
You finally came home. It's been an hour since Hannah texted you last. But since we didn't get any texts or calls from you, we were laughing, assuming you might have fainted from the surprise.
You were laughing? Our wedding is this month. And I found out today you've been cheating on me. But still, I came home to talk to you anyway. Only to see my stuff misplaced with another woman's belongings. And you were laughing at me?
The only reason you were able to live in that townhouse was because you were dating me, right? You were able to get benefits with my status and wealth. But you're a stranger now that the engagement's over. You no longer have the right to receive those benefits. That's why I moved all your stuff out.
Without even asking me?
What I do with what's in my house is my business. I'm free to do whatever I want with it.
Wait a minute. You cheat on me and decide to call off the engagement. And now you're moving my stuff out without permission. This is too much. Where is all my stuff? There's a lot of important stuff in there.
Don't worry, I didn't throw anything away. I moved it all into a rental storage unit. I only paid for a month's rent. You'll have a month to get your stuff out and find a place to move in.
A storage unit? I can't believe it.
You might be trying to get me pay you alimony. But I paid the fee to move your stuff out and also the rental fee for the storage unit. That would be enough for alimony, wouldn't it?
Don't patronize me with things you did on your own. Do you have any idea what you've done? I keep telling you, the wedding is this month. It's an overseas wedding. We've already made all the arrangements like airline tickets and hotel reservations for all the guests. You can't just call off the wedding now. Do you have any idea how much work it will need to call it off?
There's no need to call it off. I'm getting married to Hannah.
What? Marry Hannah? Are you serious?
My guests won't change. You can just exchange your guests with Hannah's guests.
It's not that simple.
I paid for it all anyway. You don't have the right to say anything about it.
You may be right, but...
Don't you dare talk back, you commoner. You tried to marry me and join the rich people's circle. It ain't gonna be that easy. Unlike you, Hannah knows what it takes to be a rich man's wife.
Know what it takes to be a rich man's wife?
I told you to be a housewife since I have a good income. But you wanted to continue your job. I told you that since we have money, we can shop at organic supermarkets and go out to eat whenever we want to. But you always went to cheap supermarkets, saying you didn't want to waste money. You always make food that poor people would eat to save money.
I just want to live within my means.
Then, you're even more unfit to be my wife. If you want to live within your means, you need to live like a celebrity, as Hannah says. Hannah knows how to spend money and she's not stingy. She's raised well, so there's no shame in going to parties with her. Above all, she respects me and lets me take priority.
I respected you too.
You've always treated me as equal, just because you're working too. Hannah would greet me at the front door every time I see her at home. She'd always thank me for my hard work. More importantly, she was willing to quit her job to marry me. She even prepared to abandon her hometown.
Abandon?
She does everything you wouldn't do for me. You know what this means? She is ready to do anything to be with me. That's why I'm breaking off my engagement to you. I'm marrying Hannah. That's the quickest way to achieve my happiness, so you'd accept this, right?
There's no way you would come back to me now. I understand it's too late. Will you tell Hannah that it's going to be tough from now on, but I wish her good luck?
I'll send you the address and PIN for the storage unit later. Okay, thanks for your support until now. Bye.
I just registered for our marriage, and we're flying out to Greece this weekend. Really, I'm so happy that I'm scared. Congratulations on your marriage. By the way, did you go say hi to Joe's parents? Since we're meeting them in Greece anyway, Joe said I can say hi then. Do you think Joe's parents might be mad at me for stealing him away from you? I don't know if they're mad, but they're very straightforward and kind. I'm sure they won't feel good that their son cheated on his fiancée and ended up like this. Too bad. I've already looked into that part as well. You've looked into it? He's an only child, and his parents adore him. So, no matter who he ends up with, his parents will have to approve of his marriage. He's their sweet, adorable only child. You've done all that research by yourself. Well, we were able to register our marriage without a hitch. And we are about to leave for our overseas wedding this weekend. The townhouse I kicked you out of is mine. You've enjoyed your days with him, and today's the last day of your celebrity life. He hasn't told you anything yet? What? He didn't tell me what? That the townhouse isn't his. What are you talking about? There's no doubt that place belongs to Joe. He said so himself. That's why he moved your stuff out. The owner of that house is someone else. Someone else? You're not going to tell me it was you, are you? No, there's no way I could afford a place like that. So it's his. It belongs to his father. His father? His father originally bought that house as an investment. He let us live there as a gift when he and I got engaged. But that just means we were renting it at a very cheap price. The owner of that house is Joe's father. We just paid him some money as a gratitude, although he would only receive a small amount of money for the common service charge and parking fee. But even if it's his father's, there's no problem with that. If it's his father's, it's the same as his. I hope it goes that way. What do you mean? Since Joe's father is the owner of the townhouse, it all depends on what he thinks and how he'll act. Kendall, are you at your new place? Where did you move all your stuff to? I just went to the storage unit where you put your stuff, but it was empty. That means you've already moved into a new place, right? What's going on all of a sudden? Why would you care about my stuff? You are living a celebrity life in a townhouse, right? I got kicked out. Kicked out? My father-in-law suddenly came and kicked us out. I won't let you idiots live in the house that belongs to me, he said. I knew it. He hired a moving company and took all our stuff to our rental storage unit without our permission. Wow, karma got back to you. But we don't have a place to live. I was able to find a new place immediately and moved right away. We're in trouble because we can't do that. Why are you calling me in this situation? Please, let us stay at your house. Huh? How can you think I'll let you guys stay at my place? Please, just let us stay for 2 nights. Then we'll be off to Greece for the weekend. You're still able to do that wedding in Greece? That wedding fee was going to be paid entirely by Joe's father. Will he still pay for that even after kicking you guys out of the house? Huh? Wait a minute. Joe's father was paying for the entire wedding? I didn't know that. There is not a single penny that Joe was paying for the wedding, since his father was going to pay for everything. Joe has always depended on his father for everything. After we got married, I told him that we should live within our means. But he didn't like that. Wait, if his father was going to pay for everything, If we provoke his anger, it's the end of the world. That's right. His father was taking care of him in everything, from work to personal life. You're kidding. In the first place, I met Joe because his father asked me to meet his son. I met Joe's father through work, and he thought his son needed a strong-willed, dependent wife like me. He asked me if I would let him arrange a date for us to get to know each other. So, you're saying that Joe dumped the woman his father found for him? He must have been very angry. His son broke off the engagement with me and registered marriage with you, without saying anything to him, who was taking care of him in many ways. And plus, his son was living in that house with the woman he cheated with. Even a mild-mannered person like him would be furious. I can get married in Greece, right? I can get married and live the celebrity life, right? Do you think you can do that without a house? Oh no. What I've always wanted was just a celebrity life. But now, I don't even have a house and I can't have a wedding. What am I going to do? I wonder how you're going to spend your life with a husband who has no job, no money, and no savings. Jobless? I told you. He relies on his father for both his work and personal life. His father is the president of the company he works for. It's thanks to his connections that he got a good position. He's as mad as to kick him out of the townhouse. Of course, he'll kick him out of the company, too. No way! How am I supposed to make a living? It's not unusual these days for a couple to work together. I don't want to work. I went out of my way to find a man with better conditions. I went to the trouble of researching your boyfriends in the city. I don't want to work now. That being said, this is a problem I can't solve on my own. After all, it was his father who held the reins of his life. I tried to make him independent, knowing he couldn't depend on him forever, but he didn't want that, so here we are. Oh no, I've married a man who is a bastard. I'll return him to you, Kendall. This is a non-returnable item. He's the man of your choice. I wish you all the best. You're kidding. Don't tell me you're just gonna leave us like this. Hey, Kendall! What do you want from me?
My wealth, my fame, my power, everything.
Are you the Pirate King?
My dad fired me because of you. He wouldn't pay for our wedding or honeymoon. He even kicked me out of the townhouse. Where am I supposed to live? You took what was mine.
It wasn't yours to begin with. You even got that job thanks to your father's connections. Even the house was given from your father out of kindness. The money for the wedding and honeymoon was something your father tried to pay as a favor. It was all his in the first place. I don't know where you got the idea that it was all yours.
I thought I was going to have a happy married life with Hannah. This isn't happy at all. As an apology, I want you to give up your house to us.
That's ridiculous. I'll tell your father about this whole conversation.
What? My father?
Well, he has told me to demand compensation from you for breaking off the engagement. He said he'd pay for my lawyer and that I should go through with it. He already introduced me to his lawyer. I'll show your father and my lawyer all the messages you've sent me.
Compensation?
The affair was one thing, but taking my stuff out of the house without my permission? I've also decided to charge you for all the money I spent on my moving. Also, because you moved my stuff without care, my tablet, jewelry, and even my expensive bags were damaged. I'll also demand damages for that too. I'd say the total cost would be a little less than $100,000. That's a realistic amount. Good for you.
Wait a minute. I lost my job, remember?
So what?
How can I pay you with no income? Besides, I paid for that storage.
If you don't have an income, why don't you go find a job? Don't worry. There are plenty of jobs out there that don't require any work history, education, or connections.
I used to make $150,000 a year, and you want me to get a job that anyone can do?
That was all thanks to your father's authority, wasn't it? Please pay me with the money you earn on your own.
I'm really going to lose everything. Oh no.
You never had anything in the first place. You'll just have to face reality. From now on, you can't just get anything you want without working hard on your own. It's good for you you finally had the chance to realize.
It's not good at all.
I mean, why wouldn't you realize that it'd be terrifying to offend your father? Well, anyways, if you ever make it to Greece, bring me back some souvenirs. If you can make it there, that is. I'll leave the rest to the lawyer. I'm off to a cafe for a coffee break. Good luck surviving without your father. I blocked their numbers to have all conversations through the lawyer. They couldn't go to Greece, and they couldn't have a wedding. They had been scrambling around for 2 weeks looking for a house and a job. In the end, they managed to get in one-bedroom old apartment. Since they need to pay the compensation and wedding cancellation fees, their part-time job incomes mostly disappear every month. They went from living in a luxury townhouse to living in poverty. By the way, his parents have cut him off, and he still can't get in touch with them.